Hello, this is Deja Bliss. I've got Heather Mader with me today, which I'm so excited. She is someone who completely inspires me as a woman in my sensuality. I've been watching her for a long time and have tasted her magnificent food as she's been a chef for many years. But recently, Heather, you've gotten into some new artwork, and right? How recently?
Oh my gosh, I've always been an artist, but I took a long hiatus when I opened my chef company. So now it's more like a rebirth of something that's been inside of me for a long time. So
Yes.
But I've just recently, in the last few months, for sure.
The last few months.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I've been watching you posting these images of your paintings, and there's something about them that speaks to me as a woman and as sensuality. And I wanted to invite you in to speak a little bit about what inspires you, what moves you to make this art.
Yeah, the real inspiration for this movement in my life right now has been healing. And going through a really intense period of pain, heartbreak, emotional trauma, loss, devastation, and then physical trauma on top of that. And that moving through that and finding healing and coming out the other side with like this renewed energy to get out all of the things that have been in me while I was in that dark space, So it's just awesome. It's not something I could have done a year ago. I didn't have it in me, the energy. And then when I began this healing process, it's been really a long, slow process, but it was just one day, I swear I just woke up and I felt different. I felt new. I felt ready, and then it just started coming out. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you were saying to me earlier that you didn't expect the kind of reception that you've had from people around that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, in some ways I did expect to have responses, because I feel like when you do something you love, you get responses. And it's always been that way in my life. If you love it and you're passionate, it comes forth. But I didn't expect for people, women all over, friends on Facebook, people from Australia, people in groups I belong to, saying that I've been inspiring them to start being creative again. And I didn't expect to affect people that way. I guess I thought, I'm just doing what I feel and what I love. But it's really, really fun to inspire other people just through being passionate, So
yes,
it's awesome.
I love it. It makes me so happy. So in this 40-day journey called MyOwnMuse is really a journey about embracing our sensuality as a source of our power. And to me, sensuality means like using our senses, like really using all that we have in our physical body. And creating art to me just is the epitome of a sensual expression. Do you agree?
I agree fully, yes.
Yeah. Can you speak to that anymore? Like paint a picture with your words if you can. Like, what is your environment like when you're painting? Like, do you set it up a specific way? Is it just you?
Ultimate sacrifices have been made. Let's just put it this way. We no longer have a couch in our house. We no longer have a TV or anything like that. My living room had to be turned into an art studio.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's one major thing that had to happen, and I'm happy. It's like, it's just, I created a space in there it's music, it's all of my art stuff around me, and it's natural light. And that's really mostly, what I'm most comfortable there. I feel, I've created that space for myself. So,
yeah.
But, as far as using, your sensuality when it comes to being sensual, art is an expression of my full passion for life. I mean, art is life. Art is life. Art is passion. Art is our connection to everything. It is not just being creative, but I guess I would say I find myself exhausted after I paint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But there's this beautiful, intense focus that occurs during the process as well, you know? And I find myself almost, you know how you do anything that's higher powered than yourself,
Yeah.
where you just connect in, and it's like I feel like I plug into something, and then I have to practice letting go. That, like Heather Mader, I have to practice letting go and then allowing this other thing to take over, and I don't have control over it necessarily. So
yes,
you know,
totally
it's a little scary. It's like I'm a control freak. I'm a Virgo. I love control. I live for it. So
this is like pushing you to your edge to do this.
It is. It's a challenge. And for me to, you know, I played the flute in college, and I was a classically trained flautist. And my instructors were always, I was technically just perfect, right? My instructors were always like, man, I just want you to just let go. Just let go. I just can't wait for you just to let go. And I never really understood what they meant until I started doing this.
Wow. That's amazing.
So it's been cool.
That's such a great lesson for all of life. You know, we can have all the steps and all the tools and all the things and even do everything right, like you said, but it really does come down to that surrender moment.
Yes.
To allow life to play us, right? That's exactly how I feel like this course is coming together. It's just like, I'm just trusting every person I'm supposed to connect with. And I'm so grateful that you're here, because this feels like such a hugely important piece. And I'm wondering if you have some art there, if you might let everyone take a little peek.
So a lot of what I started doing was these little pieces, and they're, you know, it's fluid acrylics.
So beautiful. Yeah.
So I just started working on, you know, this is just paper, really.
Yeah.
I just started doing paper and figuring out how the paints work, and they all work differently, and they all require different mediums and techniques and all this stuff. So, you know, you just begin by trying to understand. I scraped off like 20.
Oh, wow.
I threw away like 20 or 30 or so. I mean, you know, it's a process. And then, so I started learning that, and then I started playing around with more, I don't know if you can see this.
Ooh, that's so pretty. So like feathery, but watery. Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, so these, you know, like this piece has just a lot of beautiful depth to it.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and so I just different types of paints and different styles. And then I kind of fell in love with this this technique.
Ooh.
And so this is like, you know,
very deep. It looks like you're looking into a deep like cave of water or something.
Yeah, and people say it looks like a geode or
totally. I can see that.
Universe or something.
Even like malachite stone, sort of. Yeah, that's beautiful.
And you know, some of the detail is beautiful. Like some of the there's gold rivers that of paint that run all through here. I don't know if you can see that or not.
I can see that. So you said this technique, like, did you just figure this out on your own through playing, or are you also like?
Well, you know, I you know, I'm a Virgo, so I like to have a lot of control. So I definitely educate myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I watch what other people do and try to see if I can recreate certain techniques. But then, of course, you know, you want to make it your own too.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the evolution of this, really, which is starting with, you know, the swiping techniques and the all these different techniques, and then finally I put all of them into play, and I made this piece.
Oh, that's like, that's so good. Oh, that I feel like phoenixy, dragony, mystical with that. That's gorgeous.
And so I started doing these pieces, which is you know, just a combination of a lot of the techniques I've learned, and that's one thing about art that's so exciting, because it's just, there's so much. It's just like food in that, you know, I'm a chef, so I do relate a lot of this to food as well, and music as well. But there's so much to learn and so many places to go. I feel excited like every day. I can't wait to get in my studio.
Nice.
I can't wait to paint. So
what a great feeling.
yeah,
so I have
awesome.
to ask you, like, even as you're talking about this, you are glowing. It's like your energy just is glowing more and more, and I can tell that it is something you love so much. And so I'm curious if you've noticed, since you started painting, differences in you, or like in your confidence or in your self-love. Like, has that shifted for you that's noticeable?
Yes, you know, it's a little uncomfortable to say, but I guess I would say I am being a little selfish, you know.
How
And
so?
getting rid of the couch and, you know, like,
but that's just what people think we're supposed to have, right?
I know, like things that you feel like, you know, that's part of a normal household. You have a couch, and then, you know, I moved my partner's TV and PlayStation away out of that room and everything. And then creating time to work, you know. So that means that I don't have time to be on Facebook necessarily, or social media sites as much.
Right.
I don't have time to. I just had to create that space to do it, and it's been really. It's been nothing but fruitful. Like I have no regrets whatsoever, and I'm just really excited right now. I'm building my website for my art, so I'm really excited, and that's heathermaderart.net. And
Heather, spelled regular HEATHER and then MADER.
Yep, heathermaderart.
Art.com.
.net. Yeah.
.net. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
And so I'm just I'm being able to, you know, put my creativity into that as well. And I just feel a surge right now of energy, and I've been waiting for this for so long. I've been waiting for this to come up, and I knew it was going to happen, but it's been so organic and so easy that, you know how it is when something's in flow.
Yes.
It happens very naturally without any, you know, not any roadblocks, but very few. And that's kind of how it's been going. So
awesome.
I do feel really excited, and I don't, that self-care, you know, I've been practicing a lot of self-care for the last at least 2 years, really heavy, and I feel it paying off right now in my life.
Good. That's so beautiful. Awesome. And do you ever do paintings for people? Did anyone ever have you do?
Yeah, I've already, I mean, within a few weeks I had commissions. People asked me to do commissions. So I, you know, and I feel comfortable dealing with that because as a chef, I do that kind of thing all the time.
Awesome.
But I just made, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I just made this beautiful glass vase that I painted for somebody. And I have a couple paintings that I've done for people. So yeah, it's really fun. And I'm just excited. That's pretty much it.
I love it. I love it. I want to speak just for a moment here at the end about how you've moved your whole living room into this art studio and how you feel selfish doing that. But I want to highlight, even for the people watching, that when we find our passion and we find our bliss, it's like we also realize that we get to organize our life in accordance to us, that there actually isn't a right or wrong way to do us. And so you're finding what is the right way to do you, and that what your schedule and your environment looks like in order for you to express your most authentic self. And I just want to honor that. I think that's so powerful and so amazing and inspirational. So thank you for stepping into who you are, the way that you are, and showing up.
Thank you. And it's, you know, I will say this, I definitely felt I let something inside of me hold me back with painting for years and years and years. And one of the things was just not believing that I would find my niche, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just like I give this advice to women when they come to me for business, and I always say the same thing. Just take one step. Just take one step, because if you take one step and then you take another and then you take another, and then all of a sudden you look back and you're 50 steps from where you started, and that's how it begins. Don't worry about how it's going to look in the end or how everything is going to turn out. You have to just take one step. But yet I wouldn't follow my own advice for the longest time. And I give every excuse. I can't afford the paints. I can't do, all of these things that I felt like I didn't have time or the place or the right whatever. But it'll come, and you create it for yourself. And then the next thing you know, you're doing it and you're living it. And that's, it's just take that first step. That's how I feel,
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I hope those watching will reach out to you and get some of your art going in their place. And I'm excited to be able to make this opportunity with you as an artist part of this My Own Muse program. So thank you for joining us, Heather. It's been awesome talking to you. Many blessings. Keep painting.
Thank you so much. I will.
Thank you.